cutting horse was born on the open range, where ranchers would gather vast herds for branding, doctoring, and drive them up the famous trails to feed a hungry nation over 100 years ago. Some horses were better suited for separating a cow from the herd, becoming the royalty of the remuda. Ranchers would brag and bet on who had the best cutting hoss, and competitions arose. These select few were crossbred to create what we have today.
If you can't cut it, move out the way. Let me in there, get out my way. Got me a cutting horse and we have style. We have technique, we're gonna dance a while. Dance, dance, cutting.
Howdy folks, Kenny Ehmeyer here for the Weekend Cutter. Come join us as we take you on a trip from the practice pen to the show arena, and let you listen in as top cutting horse trainers prepare their students to compete in the Western industry's most exciting equine sport. So sit back, relax, and you'll learn what it takes to become a top weekend cutter right here on RFD TV.
Cutting horse dance, to the left, to the right.
Iconoclast Sports Boots. Visit westernlegacysales.com.
Cutting horse dance, left, right, left, right.
Hi, I'm Paul Hansma, Hall of Fame cutting horse trainer. I've been feeding Top of the Rockies alfalfa cubes from Manzanola Feeds for 2 or 3 years now. And I really like their convenience, the quality, and there's no mess, no waste. They're very easy and convenient to take to the shows with me. I like how my horses look, and I would recommend Manzanola Feeds. Give them a call.
Colson Real Estate is proud to present 2 exquisite properties in Weatherford, Texas, the heart of cutting horse country. The first is Lindy Birch's 34-acre ranch and comes with an incredible home and awesome covered arena and training facility. The second is a 115-acre ranch with new cedar post fencing and stone entryway. This is a gorgeous property and a great location. For more details, contact Colson Real Estate, colson.com.
Oh baby, come on. Oh baby, come on. Oh baby, come on. It's so neat to meet you, baby, where the action is. Oh baby, come on. Oh baby, come on. Oh baby, come on. It's so neat to meet you, baby, where the action is.
Hi, my name is Zeke Entz. We're here with the Weekend Cutter. This is Mick Rankin. He's going to be practicing with us today. Mick, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm active duty Navy stationed here in the Memphis area, and I've been cutting seriously for about a year. I started about 3.5 years ago, and I had a horse that I was working on, but I ended up with an Anchor here, and he's the first horse I've won money on, and I've been winning ever since.
All right, who'd you start with originally? Who got you? Who gave you the love?
A guy named Chuck Smith out of Canal, Winchester, Ohio.
Yep. Well, good. Stationed down here, and now we practice all the time.
Yes, sir.
All right, tell us a little bit about your horse.
Well, this is, we call him Anchor. His registered name is Alpha Omega 072. He's out of the 72 Ranch of Texas. He's by Smart Little Lena out of Little Memory Maker.
Yep,
So,
Billy Martin. He
Yes, sir.
owned and showed that mare a long time, and I'm sure he raised and trained this one.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's get in a good practice.
All right, sir.
Get up in between them, get up in between them. There you go. Now, working, get straight across there, get stopped. Get straight across there, get stopped. There you go. Try to get straight across that cow. There you go, all the way across. Good. There, a little more balance. Back out of there, get back up against it. Right up, there you go. Now, When you ride up, you want to ride up to your stop, rock straight back, then go straight across the arena again. Straight back, there you go. Get all the way across there. Get squared up. Get up out of there. Hold on, we're gonna let that cow sit. Find you a spot, right there. Get underneath that ear and drive it on up. Straight across here, get even. There you go. There you go. All the way across there. There you go, good. Kick square. Kick him all the way to that wall over there. He's not getting across that cow. There you go, now get across it here. There you go, good. Rock back, get all the way to your left-hand corner. Drive up, drive up, drive up. Robert, center those steers, center them as best you can, Robert. All the way across, all the way. You just heard me say, get all the way across your cow. I was encouraging the rider to ride all the way out to the front of the cow so that you can stop it and control it. Now, let's get back to practice. There you go, all the way across her. Good, all the way across that cow, good. Good, timing's good right there. Good, find you a place. Excellent. Good job, Mick. Well, do you have any questions about your work?
No, sir. I think the finally started getting in sync there a little bit towards the end. I was a little slow on the first one. So.
Yep. A little out of center of that cow on that first one, and as you worked on, got our timing position a little better.
Yes, sir.
Finished up real well. Feel ready to go to the show?
I'm ready.
Well, let's go cut.
All right, sir.
Sit right there. Wait. Turn around, go up the right-hand side. Go on up. Keep driving up, Mick. Maybe black horn. Keep driving up. Keep driving up. There you go. Now, left foot. Wait. Both feet, both feet, both feet. Both feet. Right foot. Right foot. Right foot, right foot. Come on. Right there you go. All right. Walk right in the middle again. Go to your left. Sit right there. Sit right there. Come up over here, Mick. Come to this side. Look back to your right a little. Back to your right a little. Left foot. Both feet, both feet. Both feet, both feet. Both feet, come on. There you go, all the way. Both feet, right foot. Sit, sit. Right there, quit. Sit right there. Sit right there, Mick. Slow it down. Go back up there, black horn. Black horn cow. You're gonna do her again. Go to your right, black horn. Stay on it. Push on it with your nose. There you go. There you go. Be ready to go with your feet. Use your feet, use your feet. There you go. Wait. Now left foot only. Left foot only, come on. Keep going after the buzzer, okay?
Hi, this is Reed Sanders from Ripley, Tennessee. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
There is something about the outside of a horse that is good for the inside of us all. You know it's true. Return the favor. Connect to the power of performance. Total Equine Horse Feed. Wellness for your horse's performance and well-being. Good inside. TotalEquine.info.
One of the most physically and demanding tasks required of the cow horse is holding the cow. Every joint, ligament, and muscle is tested to its limits. To keep your cutting horse on the cutting edge, Precision Joint Solution developed the most innovative joint supplement on the market today. By combining 2 exclusive ingredients, it supports the joints by decreasing inflammation, hindering cartilage breakdown, and increasing recovery time. Precision, the cutting edge for the cutting horse.
Hi, I'm Liz Crenshaw from Hernando, Mississippi. Welcome back to the Weekend Cutter.
Well, folks, here we are up in beautiful Colorado, and I'm with my new and good friend here, Melvin Neugenbauer, who is the founder of Manzanola Feeds and Top the Rockies Alfalfa Cubes. Melvin, thank you for spending some time with me today.
Thank you.
I want to introduce our viewing audience to Top the Rockies Alfalfa Cubes and Manzanola Feeds. Tell me a little bit about how long ago did you start making alfalfa cubes there in Manzanola, Colorado?
You know, I started in about 75 with an old field cuber, making them out in the field, and then we do that for about 10 years, and then I rebuilt the plant. I had an older plant we made cubes, and then in the last 10 years we've got a brand new plant that does all of it, you know.
Well, I tell you what, I visited the plant, and it's pretty high tech. You've got robotics around and a lot of computers and everything that's almost on cruise control for you, isn't it?
Yes, you know, I need about 4 or 5 people now, and they're my main people, and all the people I have now I've had for 15 years, so it makes it so much easier running, not having to hire new people all the time.
Well, I tell you what, it's a great place. I stopped there here a while back and visited with you. I actually watched something, and you didn't even know I was watching it, but you're so picky about the alfalfa that goes into Top the Rockies Alfalfa Cubes that I watched your guy out in the warehouse rejecting a load of alfalfa that I thought was some of the prettiest alfalfa I'd ever seen. Tell me about that. What makes you so picky about what you're feeding yours and your customers' horses?
Well, them bales, you know, the farmers all know it's got to be right. And if it has a weed or a little grass or the moisture's too high, it goes back to the farm. And the farmers understand, you know, and so it just won't end up in our cubes.
I tell you what, that as a horse owner feeding your product, that's a pretty good self-assurance there that your manufacturer is watching out for you and making sure that only the best goes in those bags with your name on them.
Right. I do all the hay buying, so I won't let anybody else buy the hay. So I know what goes in every cube.
Well, I tell you what, I have had some great luck with my horses back in Texas. They all love it. It's hard for me to feed him and then go and get a horse to work him because he just doesn't want to leave the bin when there's some of those Top of the Rockies alfalfa cubes in there. They love it. You have also been in the performance horse industry. You've got running quarters.
We run quarters, yes. We raise the babies and run them on the track.
This man's designed Top the Rockies alfalfa cubes for his performance horses. With that background and knowledge, you know that a lot of your client base are cutters, reiners, ropers, barrel racers. All disciplines of performance horses are benefiting from your Top the Rockies alfalfa cubes.
Yes, and we're proud of that. You know, that's the reason we want the very best alfalfa in the cubes.
Well, Melvin, speaking of some of these performance horse people, a lot of our viewers know some of the guys that are feeding Top the Rockies alfalfa cubes. Paul Hansma, Boyd Rice, the 4-6s Ranch, these people are all taking advantage of the quality control that you put into Top the Rockies alfalfa cubes. Dealers, you've got folks across the country. What's the easiest way for somebody to get their hands on some Top the Rockies alfalfa cubes?
We're working on a spotter now to where they can go on our website and pull up where the closest feed store is to get the Top of the Rockies cubes.
Well, that'll be handy, and that's manzanolafeeds.com, correct?
Yes, uh-huh.
And then you've got a couple wonderful ladies there at the office that's able to answer questions, Dina and Rhonda. They both can answer any questions that you folks may have about Top the Rockies alfalfa cubes or where to get a hold of some. Melvin, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I can't wait to hear what happens at the All-American Futurity.
Appreciate it. It's a big race, and it's going to take a lot of luck.
Well, I tell you what, you've got them fed right. They're going to the race fed with Top the Rockies alfalfa cubes.
This is Dr. Harry Anderson. That is a good question, a very general question about does nutrition affect tooth growth? Yes, everything affects tooth growth in the nutrition world. You have to have good basic nutrition for solid hoof growth, solid bone growth, solid tooth growth. It doesn't really matter. Now, what are the components that make all these things like they're supposed to be? Well, calcium and phosphorus and potassium and magnesium, they have to be in the right ratio. That's well known. But one of the things we don't talk about often enough is the level, ratio, and quality of trace minerals. You need to have the trace minerals there in the quality and quantity that they need to act as the catalysts that cause all these reactions to have good tooth growth and good bone growth. Everything in the body that takes place is done by a catalyst. The major catalysts are the trace minerals. Copper, manganese, zinc, and even magnesium are the catalysts that cause all these reactions for depositing good tooth enamel, good tooth structure, good bone growth, etc. So check your program to see if you have chelated trace minerals, see if you have chloride minerals, and the level to make sure you have enough copper, zinc, manganese, and selenium, as well as iodine in that program, so that the animal never does run short of catalysts to make the major minerals do their job in laying down all this heavy tissue like bone and teeth. For more information about this or other equine topics, visit theadvicebarn.com, and thanks for watching The Weekend Cutter.
Hi, this is Randy Chartier, and this is The Weekend Cutter, and we'll be back right after a few messages.
What separates us from the rest of the bits out there? What makes these bits so unique? These bits are unique in the sense that these are all American made. Every bit's handmade, made right here in Gainesville, Texas. All three of these bits from start to finish, each one covers a different age or a different area, different stage in training, from your 2-year-old all the way to the finished horse. This is a bit made by horsemen for horsemen.
There are really no obstacles in getting a horse insured anymore. You don't need to find a vet. You don't need to load the horse up in the trailer to go get it vetted. You don't need to pay for those x-rays. All you have to do is find a phone, and we all know we have one of those at the tip of our fingers no matter where we're at, and just call 1-800-228-8664. And if you know you're going to be picking up a horse on a Saturday or Sunday, call us on Friday, and we'll get it all put together, and that horse will be insured when you load it up in the trailer.
Hi, this is Dana Summerford from Faultville, Alabama. Welcome back to The Weekend Cutter.
Well, folks, we're here with Ted Sokol, one of the veterans of our show. Ted, thank you very much again.
Oh, my pleasure as always.
You know, we're always talking about the equipment that's involved in our sport of cutting.
Right.
There's some equipment that comes along with the rider. And today, you know, we want to talk a little bit about spurs.
Okay.
Folks folks that go and decide they want to go take a cutting horse lesson, naturally they probably want to show up, ready to ride a horse.
Right.
What should they be showing up with on their boots?
Okay. Well, let's start off with, first of all, when they first go, they probably don't even need a pair of spurs. Okay?
Okay.
Let's find out how good they are as a rider, and everything, and how accomplished they are. Then go from there, and we start to fit them into a pair of spurs that they can use, a general pair of spurs.
Right.
A nice general pair of spurs is anything, usually, like this spur right here, it has a 10-point, 6-point rowel. Any one of these flat rowels is a real gentle spur. It's a nice spur for somebody to get started with.
Gentle, dull.
Right,
Not
right.
They
don't.
spook
No,
a horse.
they can move a horse with it, but they're not going to scare a horse or get into trouble with it. Okay. Okay. And the next thing we really have to think about, Kenny, is how that spur fits on a boot.
Okay.
The proper fit. If you look at this boot, we like to have our spur sit right down just against the heel. Okay. It's nice and flat here. If it flops a little bit, it comes right back to that spot, so it's always where you need it when you're using your foot to control that horse.
And a good pair of cowboy boots generally has a spur
ridge,
heel.
A spur
ridge
heel,
there for
exactly.
a spur heel.
That will help, that'll just catch that. And that spur, it can move a little bit, and that's fine if it has a little bit of movement to it, okay?
Right.
And a little give to it, so when you hit that horse, it's not just a sharp, that thing will give a little bit right
Sure.
there, okay? So you like it to fit nice and easy right there on that boot. Lots of times I'll have people, they come to me, and what we wind up with is people that don't adjust them right. They show up, the strap's loose in the first, and their boot's down here on the bottom of their heel. Now you've got this where they kick a horse twice, spur comes, it's gone. They've lost the total use of it right there, okay? The other thing that happens is you get people that will get too small a spur. Okay, sometimes they'll buy like a little roping spur or something, and it's too tight. So they put it on, and they put it up here. Well, it pinches them, it hurts them, and plus it's in a position where 90% when it's like that, it does this, and it rides up. Now again, you've lost contact with the spur doing any good on your horse.
Right.
Okay, so that spur, it's important that it fits there nice and easy, stays in position, holds it right there on the heel for you, okay?
Right.
Okay, so that's what you look for there. And then as you get into doing this more and more, all right, now you're with a trainer and someone's helping you, or you've bought a horse from someone. Say you bought a horse from somebody, whoever you bought that horse from, ask them, say, hey, what kind of spur do we use with this horse, okay? Is it a real mild spur? In other words, do we go to a little clover leaf, a real soft spur? Or do we have to go all the way to the sharper spur where you start to get into your rock grinders, okay? Rock grinders are pretty much, I would say, for the advanced, amateur, non-pro, professional, okay? Most novice riders do not need to get into a rock grinder because they're still gripping with their legs, some, and aren't using their feet 100% correct, so they get into problems with these sharper spurs, okay? And then as you get more into this, you decide, how wide a band are you comfortable with? How long should the shank be? And that can be determined by your leg length.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah,
the longer the leg and the harder it is for you to get to your horse, the more you need on a shank. The shorter the leg, if your feet are right there at your horse's side, you don't need as much. Okay, so there again, that's another thing that you have to be thinking about as you get into your spurs and that.
Well,
okay?
That's a lot of knowledge. You see a lot of variation in the shank itself, the way that they're curved, they're made. You see some straight shanks. You see some of these that's got quite a bit of a degree of drop to them.
Right. Yep.
So it's all about the general, horse you're riding.
Right. Exactly. And somebody telling you
your physical makeup,
exactly
how long the legs are.
How it fits like that. Making sure that thing fits correctly, so it's there when you need it.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the important stuff. As far as how you want your spur built or that is strictly that's like how we have our hats creased.
Exactly.
Everybody wears the spur that they want to wear, with whatever type of scrolling, initials, whatever you want on it. You know what I mean? To basic, and people grow into that, It's just like they grow into their saddles. They start out with that basic saddle. Pretty soon they realize how high a horn or how high a front or how big a seat they have to have. So it's the same thing, and that happens with these spurs. But people starting out should really get with someone and have them help them make sure they're fitted right with spurs to start out working a horse.
So you go from one extreme to the other. You've got
Right.
some really dull clover leaves, some
Mhm.
10 points. They make these anywhere from 6 to 10 points, and kind of
Yeah.
depends on what you like, all the way
Right.
to your rock grinders that are a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
We've talked about how these spurs ought to be fitting on the boot,
Mhm.
and sometimes that may make a decision on what kind of boot you buy.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
everything. I always liked having the spur ridge.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
it just helps. It makes it,
it just
easy for that spur to stay balanced on that boot. If it's got that little ridge, it just helps that balance right there a little bit.
Well,
Yes.
Well, that's important information. It's the
Yeah.
first time that we've done this on the show, but we think that it's important that we start talking about different pieces of equipment that are involved in our industry. Thank you, Ted, for
my
enlightening us.
My pleasure as always, Kenny.
All right. Thanks a lot, folks.
Dance, dance, cutting horse dance. To the left, to the right, cutting horse dance.